Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We are pleased to have one of our frequent, very cool guests back in the studio, Dr. Gary Weitzman, President and CEO of the San Diego Humane Society. How you doing, Gary?
I'm good, Drew. It's always good to talk to you.
Man, the content you provide is just phenomenal. Joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. We're celebrating one anniversary of Kristen, certainly elevating our Spotlight show, and I'm very grateful for that. Kristen is also the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc., celebrating their 20th anniversary in Liberty Station. How you doing, Kristen?
Doing well, thanks.
Absolutely. Why don't you start us off?
Yeah, I mean, let's get really general. Just give us the mission of the San Diego Humane Society.
Oh, that's not so general. There's a lot there.
Well, it's just, you do so much. I mean, we could have a
I
conversation just about the mission.
No, really, the mission really is to inspire compassion and make San Diego the best place on earth to have a pet or to be one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And your tentacles actually go everywhere on this. But before we get into the overcapacity at shelters, which we've been talking about for a while, and it's not, going down too much, I guess we're going to find out from you. You've got this iconic event that's coming up called the Fur Ball. Talk about it.
The Fur Ball. It's a good thing.
It's a great thing.
Yeah, you've been many times, Drew.
I have.
I know. We love having you there, and I hope you're going to be there this year.
I'm gonna take a look at the schedule. I can't bring my dog because the dog will wreak havoc.
That's okay. I can't bring my dogs either because we want people to actually want to adopt. And if they see my dogs,
this would encourage them on never having a pet.
Exactly. So this is our 38th annual Fur Ball. So 38 years we've been doing this event, and for so many of them, at least 20 of them, they've been at our shelter on Gain Street in San Diego. And it sounds weird because it's in the back parking lot, but it's actually an amazing event. I'm not a big gala fan, but it is fantastic because there's so many dogs, 600 plus people and about 200 dogs. Sometimes a few cats, sometimes a few other animals, but the whole back parking lot, it's draped with chandeliers, and it's just really fun.
It is an amazing event, and we've been lucky and fortunate to bring our Jessie, who is now up in Jessie and Dog Heaven and all that. But Jessie was dressed up in a tuxedo, as you remember. Mm-hmm. And the thing was amazing about it, I had more people want to take pictures with Jessie because he kept his top hat on.
Good for him.
They couldn't figure out how.
Top hat.
Oh my goodness, it was absolutely unbelievable. Offline, I'll show you a picture of it.
Nice.
It was phenomenal. But what is the date, and how do people sign up? And if they they better do it sooner than later.
They should do it soon. We are nearly sold out. There's limited tickets available. The date is October 5th.
Right.
It starts at 5 p.m., and we'd love to see the whole community there if we can fit them.
Well, listen, it is a great event. It raises quite a bit of money for all the wonderful programs that folks do.
It does. It's really essential to us. It raises a lot of money that actually supports all of our programs, and we can actually make sure that animals are protected and in good condition here in our county.
Yeah. And something controversial, I read that the stars of the Fur Ball are cats this year.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a surprise. That's the first time ever we've had two cats, or even one cat.
Is that right?
As the Fur Ball star. And that happened kind of with a series of very unfortunate events where our original stars of the Fur Ball were not able to do it. Mm-hmm. And so we had a runner-up. And it's an auction item, so we had a runner-up, and these two beautiful felines became the very first. They broke the cat ceiling, and they are the very first stars of the Fur Ball.
I'm so interested how one elects all of this, but I mean that's a different podcast.
That's a whole other story.
It's good. Hey, before we start getting into the overcapacity of shelters, I do want to give a shout out to you. we had Graham Bloom on from Specialty Dog
One of my
Training.
favorites.
He went off on just you're having Gary coming next week. I said, yeah, he's a frequent guest and one of my good friends. I'm honored to call you a friend and colleague, and he thinks the world of you. And that was a great interview with
Graham is wonderful. His work with Shelter to Soldier is amazing.
Yes,
and he's right next door to our Oceanside shelter, and he's a great partner.
Yeah, it was terrific. Talk about the overcapacity of shelters, and is that number even coming close to going down?
Yeah, it's we're a little better off than we were in the middle of the summer.
Okay.
We, of course, had Clear the Shelters in September, and that helped get out 267 animals, just amazing in one day.
Right.
But we are very much over capacity for dogs.
Right.
Cats are in good shape, but dogs were probably about 160%.
Did I not hear last time that Kristen said she'd take about 50 of those dogs? Did she not make that?
I promised 2 desert tortoises. I live in El Cajon. I'm ready and waiting.
Oh, that's right. You
and
did.
they're supposed to be Gary and Drew. They're already named. We figured this out like close to a year ago. So we just need to sign on the dotted line.
That's good. I'll keep an eye out
All
for
right.
them.
Sounds good.
I think that's great. How can the public help with the shelter?
Well,
issue?
first of all, one of the major things, really, we do want people to think adoption first. And whether it's from San Diego Humane or from one of our wonderful partners in San Diego at other shelters or the rescue groups here, please think of rehoming an animal that needs you before you go to any other source. I've never said that so emphatically in my life as I am now, because this influx of dogs is unprecedented.
Right.
And they're deteriorating, even in great shelters like San Diego Humane. And we really want them in homes. So please, public, please think of adopting first. If you can't adopt, foster. And if you can't foster, then that's okay too. Maybe come and do a dog day out with us, which is fantastic. We have dogs, we train you, and you just take them to Starbucks. You take them to Fiesta Island. You take them for a walk. You give them a day away from the shelter or volunteer. All those things are really wonderful.
Yeah. What's the stray care program? What's that about?
Stray care is interesting. So we're looking at a lot of different ways that we can actually decrease the intake of animals. So stray care means that if you find a dog, just say, for instance, you don't immediately bring that dog into the shelter. You contact us. We let you know that we know about the dog. You give us all the information. And we just ask, can you keep the dog until we find the owner? And normally a stray hold in the shelter is 3 days. And then the dog, unfortunately, is considered lost or abandoned. And then we keep the dog after that. If you keep a dog in stray care, you keep the dog until we get the dog placed. And you don't have to. It's as long as you can do it. But every day that you keep a dog out of our shelter helps everybody.
Right. Go ahead.
Sorry, yeah. Gary, what can we attribute to this huge influx of dogs? So hopefully we don't get there again. And also, are we seeing this nationally?
Yeah, we are. It's it's not just San Diego Humane. It's also our other partners here in San Diego, and it's all across the country. This is a very, very strange effect. I think it's a side effect of the pandemic.
Yeah.
When we all across the nation dropped our spay-neuter work. Because we had to preserve personal protective equipment for human use. And so we dropped it off. And remember, there were so many reasons that we didn't want people to congregate. So spay-neuter dropped. We're going back up now and doing that. But there's a lot of unwanted litters. And that's why we have so many dogs.
Do you find that people over the pandemic, were taking dogs in and now they can't?
Oh, absolutely. But that was one of the things that was the conclusion early on after the pandemic, that everybody was returning their COVID dogs. They did not do that. Most people, in fact, a higher percentage of people retained their pets after the pandemic. But what happened was, how many dogs can you take? Well, you're going to take 50 of ours.
Right, yeah.
Besides that.
But I'm a gem, so that's, yeah.
But people had dogs, so they weren't needing more dogs. And then there were lots of litters. So neighbors gave, their friends and their family litters of puppies or a puppy from a litter. But there were just too many. And that's what's happening now. The other thing is that those dogs, like those humans, all of us during the pandemic, didn't socialize as well. And so we have a lot of dogs that maybe need a little bit more training, a little bit more social skills. And so sometimes those dogs are too much for families, and those dogs sometimes do not get reclaimed when they're lost.
Do you have any? I'm sorry, Drew. I'm just taking over. We're talking about dogs. I'll tap you when I'm ready. No, are there any incentives out there, like you're trying to offload some, animals to some good homes, but are the prices, is the adoption fee reduced? Are there any sort of like incentive fees for people?
I don't think we've adopted a dog out at the regular fee in a year and a half.
Okay.
Honestly, there's always, clear the shelters, every dog was free. Right now they were 50%, but honestly, if someone cannot afford to adopt a dog from us, we don't care. We will help them adopt the dog.
Okay.
We need help, and our dogs need homes.
Yeah, there's no question. We're chatting with Dr. Gary Weitzman, who's the president and CEO of the San Diego Humane Society. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast on our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, just doing phenomenal work in our community. Everything from food insecurity to literacy to art and everything in between. Joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She's the executive director of San Diego Writers Inc., celebrating their 20th anniversary. Talk about how the connection is between, September being, National Disaster Preparedness Month and animals.
Oh, yeah. Well, the animal part is we certainly want people to be prepared with their animals. This goes way back to 2006 with Katrina, when so many animals died in New Orleans, and so many people too. Things have changed. There are so many disasters now. And we know wildfire season is literally hot and heavy right now, and we're just at the beginning of it. So we want people to know, take your animals with you. But if you do that, we want people to be prepared. So have your animals microchipped, have a collar ready, have have your medical records in your phone if you can do it. Have one week's worth or longer of medication. Have a to-go kit in case you do have to evacuate your home.
Yeah, I saw something too that really appealed to me, making a plan with your neighbors about pets if they're left behind and everything like that. Right. I think that's such a beautiful idea too, because I live in a very divided community in East County where we don't all talk to each other. This is a beautiful way to, to just get together and take care of each other.
Absolutely.
And to kind of congregate around pets. So I love that.
Animals are the universal equalizer, right?
Yeah.
Everyone speaks the same language regarding our love for animals. If you are sane enough to love animals the way we think you should. But really, just making sure that there's a protection plan for your pets is critical as for every other member of your family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When we come back from break, I want to talk a little bit more about the disaster preparedness as well, maybe a little bit more on the furball. But, just talking about how real critical it is for everyone to be very mindful when you think about owning a pet. And I think we talked about this to your buddy Graham on this aspect of it. You and I have brought this up many times. There's a movie that comes out, My Friend Flicka, or...
You went way back on that one.
Before you were born, or the 101 Dalmatians, but we talk about that. There's an influx in people buying, in that case, Dalmatians,
Right.
And then going, oops, I didn't realize the dog was so hyper, I think I'm going to return it. Let's think about talking about that as well when we return with Dr. Gary Weitzman, President and CEO of the San Diego Humane Society, right after this little break.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are now the nation's longest-running community podcast in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for more than 60 years, just doing wonderful things for people living in San Diego County, joined by Dr. Gary Weitzman, President and CEO of the San Diego Humane Society. Arguably, I'm a little prejudiced, the top humane society in the United States. And I think a lot of people would agree with that as well. Gary, you've got a phenomenal staff.
Oh, really?
An amazing board.
Agree.
And you always were so quick to give credit to that aspect. Joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She is the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc., celebrating their 20th anniversary this year. Right before break, we were just talking about so we talked about the shelters and all that business. We want people to try to adopt as much as possible, give a shot first of that, or foster. But you got to be very mindful. Are you ready for a pet, whether it's a dog, a cat, or everything in between, right?
Right, absolutely. It's a lifelong commitment for the animal.
Right.
I mean, you literally are their entire world, their entire lives.
Yeah.
So you do have to be prepared for that.
Right, exactly. Do you offer classes to people that if you are thinking of becoming a pet owner, a dog or whatever, you need to take this class, or you can do it online or not? Because I think people, that is the cutest puppy in the world. I'm going to go pick one up. You know what goes along with that? So do you offer courses?
Drew, we don't. That's a really good idea. I haven't heard of that class.
That's right. Kristen will be the first to teach it.
Oh, I would totally teach it. Oh my gosh, how fun would that be?
Well, kind of our adoption counselors teach that when people come in, because it's a personal experience. So if somebody comes in, they're not just given, here's a list and you go pick and then here's the paperwork. They sit down and they talk with their counselor. So those aspects are there. But I mean, to be honest, what you're suggesting is brilliant, because it's such an emotional time when someone comes in and they fall in love with something in the shelter. It's so emotional. People don't listen. All they hear is hearts. So, and we love that, but having a prep course for it, that's not a bad idea.
Well, and think about how many people actually pick up a dog or a cat or whatever and think, I'm ready for this, and return it. Or is that a small number?
It's a small number.
Oh, okay. That's good to hear.
Thankfully, it's a very small number, which is great. Now, sometimes the animal doesn't work in your household, and we understand that. So we have an adoption guarantee, and we want people to never feel guilty, never feel bad. If it doesn't work, come back with the animal. Tell us what you learned. That dog, that cat, that guinea pig, that horse. We actually adopted out 2 pigs 2 weeks ago, too, during Clear the Shelters.
And that is nice. What type of pigs?
Potbelly.
Okay.
Yeah, potbelly pigs. We do have quite a few of them that come into our Escondido campus all the time. And it's amazing. They're either strays or they're lost. And you just have to wonder.
Stray pigs.
I'd love to interview them and find out exactly what happened to get them there.
Well, one of the things, again, it was so wonderful about having you on. There's so many wonderful topics. And, we were so honored to actually do one of our spotlight shows. Kristen was there from the Humane Society, and we plan on doing more of those.
Oh, we love that too.
Yeah, at your convenience in this aspect of it. But one of the things that was really interesting, and we talked about your wildlife center out in Ramona, is it?
Yep.
And mentioned that even though people are well-intentioned to bring in an animal they think is injured or lost or whatever, the answer was, you don't know if the mom or dad of that animal was just trying to find food or something. So as much as it's thank you for being concerned, don't bring them in.
Now that's where classes would really help. And we do try to educate the public. We offer classes. Not formally, but I think we should next year. Yeah. Baby season for wildlife is usually from March until about August.
Right.
And a lot of those animals that look so horrible to us when we see them flailing around on the ground, birds, they're learning to fly. Yeah. And the parents are right there, and people don't realize it. They bring them to us, and they've just disrupted a family. So we have information on our website, but you're right. We can open up a whole university, Drew.
Well, listen, I think it is so important. As we all talk, there's nothing more important than the human and animal bond. And how many, it equally as important for the human as is the animal. As you said, that's an understatement in the world we're chatting with. Dr. Gary Weitzman, President and CEO of the San Diego Humane Society. I'm Drew Schlosberg. He's listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union with my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She is the executive director of San Diego Writers Inc. Kristen?
Yeah. I wanted to get back to, for personal interest, you said that you've been bringing back spay and neuter programs.
Right.
So can you talk a little bit about that and how important that is?
Really important. I mean, the cost of everything in our world has gone up in every category, obviously.
Yes.
Veterinary medicine has gone up as well. And we don't blame the vets. They're just trying to survive. It costs a fortune to run a vet hospital. But subsequently, there are the price increases on spay neuter, on medical care, on dentals. It's out of reach for so many people.
Right.
So we've got to fill that gap. And that's what we're trying to do at San Diego Humane. And we're going to be opening up a high volume spay neuter center, hopefully within the next 3+ years.
Oh, great.
We're going to open up a new hospital that'll serve the public that is unable to go to a private practice for financial reasons or accessibility reasons. And that'll open hopefully 2025, 2020. Oh, sorry. That was very fast. That's in my mind, 2025.
Yeah. Sure.
But in about 3 years, we're hoping. And in that, there'll be a spay neuter center. So we're hoping to be able to do about 20,000 spay neuters a year for San Diego County.
Now, will that be on your campus or that'll be another?
Yeah. We have a building. It's right across the street from them. It's on the same street as the main campus. Where the main campus is. It's right across the street from the adoption center.
You know, one of the things that we don't say enough on this, and I know you're going to sit there and roll your eyes, which no one will be able to see because this is a podcast, but really kudos to you. Your organization continues to win, and you're very proud of this Top Workplace Awards. And it's a culture that you've established. And talk about that. There's a lot to be. First of all, congratulations.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said about that.
Thank you. Thanks, Drew. Also, Mission Fed also won that award as well. I saw when I was coming in.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's. I am happy about that. The one of the most important things to me working at San Diego Humane is actually to be able to take care of our employees, and that's what we try to do. We have a culture. We call it. It's hokey, but we call it our culture of care, and it really is based on if we don't take care of our staff and make sure that they're doing well and thriving, they're not going to be able to take care of animals and the public. So it starts there, and it's nice to get it recognized, but more importantly, we want to make sure our staff who work like dogs. Where did that expression ever come from? Dogs really don't work very hard. But our staff works so hard. It's stressful. It's challenging. The conditions are often difficult, and they really do an amazing job. And they love our animals.
Yeah. And on that note, as we wind up this interview, and again, Gary, every time we leave an interview, we open the door for 17 more topics we've never even brought up before. That's why I enjoy having you on the show. Can't have you on enough in this area. Working in the world of the Humane Society and dogs in general, what you're doing, there are a ton of diverse jobs, correct?
Oh, there are. Yeah, everything animal care and working with people, and there's a social work aspect of it to veterinary medicine. There's a lot of jobs.
Yeah, I mean graphics. There's people that marketing and so forth, and things you wouldn't think. But I'm not sure if I could want to sit there and get into spaying a dog. Well, you're not going to be spaying a dog. Okay, you're not going to be doing
as a volunteer.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you teach me how to do that? But seriously, I think one of the things that it'd be good. Maybe we'll save this for one of the next interviews. I'd love to talk about the different careers that come out of
that'd be terrific.
I don't think we've ever done that before.
No, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, let's go over that.
And I'll bring some of my friends from the shelter. I think that'd be really nice to talk about.
100%.
And we would love to get some more officers, our humane officers. That's an incredible career path, and we would love to get word out about that.
That's what we're talking about. So if you can come on next Friday, that'd be great. I think we'll probably wait after the fur ball. Any final comments?
Oh, just thank you, Drew. It's always and Kristen. It's always great to be here, and I want to thank this whole county because people in San Diego County really love their animals, and they support the Humane Society and other shelters and rescues here, and we're all very grateful for that.
Well, a lot of it has to do with the leadership and, of course, your wonderful staff as well. Gary Weitzman, always great seeing you, wishing you nothing but unbelievable success. As always, at the Fur Ball, we'll look forward to you coming back on the show.
Can't wait, Drew. Thank you.
Dr. Gary Weitzman, President and CEO of the San Diego Humane Society. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast, brought to you by the great folks of Mission Fed Credit Union for more than 6 decades, doing great things for people living in San Diego County. As always, Kristen Fogel, and so enjoy you being a co-host, now celebrating our 1-year anniversary and beyond. We hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.